In today's episode of the Hexagon Challenge, it is our last Europa League Group Game. It is against Rangers, a result which could decide which team qualifies first and progresses to the second knockout round. Let's see if we can hold on to top spot. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Hexagon Challenge here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well. If you do enjoy today's video, then please do leave a thumbs up down below. And if you are a regular and have not done so already, then please do hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. All that good YouTube algorithm stuff. So it's been a little while in game since that Red Star game yesterday where we bet them 6-1 in the away league. That did mean that we'd already qualified out of our Europa League group no matter what happened in the next two games. And we have had 5 League R games since then and 1 Europa League group game. I won't show you the highlights because it would take us a fair while to get through, especially that Ural one, but we have dropped points twice in League R since you were last here. To Strasbourg away, a 1-1 draw, and then we played Sochaux Montpellier with a rotated team just 2 games ago, just over a week ago in game, and a 0-0 draw where we did create a lot of chances and even got a goal very late on that was ruled out due to offside. So that's frustrating. Apart from that though, we've been pretty good. A 2-0 win against Nimes, a 3-1 win against Saint Etienne, and a 4-0 win against Montpellier, sandwiching a 9-1 win over Ural. I won't show you all the highlights from this one, but there will be a nearly goal showing now. Callum Hudson-Odoi from the halfway line thanks to a goalkeeper error. He tried to get goal of the season for the second time in a row and he nearly pulled it off. If that went in, absolute scenes, but fair to say that we did a number on Ural when we played them in the group, 10-0 and 9-1. That's a 19-1 aggregate. And off the back of that, we have actually scored the most goals in the Europa League by a team in a single season, and we've only played 5 out of 6 group games and haven't got to the knockout rounds yet. So fair to say that we're banging goals in the Europa League anyway, but yeah, I couldn't quite believe that we've broken that record already, but we must be doing pretty well. So in terms of how that's leaving us in League On, because that's probably the most interesting thing at the moment, PSG have overtaken us because we've dropped those points, but they are only 1 point ahead of us. And you can see there's a 9-point gap back to Stade Brest, who we will be playing in tomorrow's episode. That is the last game of the first half of the Ligue 1 season, and it will take us up to nearly a year since we joined Monaco in game. We've also got a transfer window coming up, and there is a bit of interest being shown on a few of our players from some big clubs, but we are second now in Ligue 1, which is a little bit frustrating, but not too far behind PSG. If they slip up, then we should be in a position to overtake them, fingers crossed. In terms of the Europa League, today's game could decide who goes through top of the group. I say could, it's highly unlikely. It's going to have to be a 7-0 win to Rangers just to even up that goal difference. So I think we're going to be going through anyway. It is unlikely, although in saying that, I am going to put out a rotated team with some important League On games coming up, that Stade Brest one as well as Lille. So some interesting games coming up to finish the first half of the League R season. But today we are going to figure out if we're going to qualify top or second. You'd think top, but it's Football Manager and you never know how that sort of stuff is going to go. Now, medical centre we have to look at too, because we are playing a rotated team, but a player who usually starts for that team is Edwin Quintero. He sprained his knee ligaments not too long ago. He is out for 2 to 5 weeks, which is a little bit frustrating, albeit there's a wee break at the halfway point of the season, so some of that injury time will be taken out by that, about 2 weeks. It's kind of a 3-week injury, if you know what I mean. He's only going to miss 3 weeks of actual football. And we've also got Anthony Herver, who has been our backup right back in the Europa League anyway. He is out for 5 to 10 days, just a minor issue with him that he is steadily recovering from. So he is also not going to be in the starting lineup today. And of course, David Leyer, one of our backup goalkeepers, has still got his damaged cruciate ligament, which is been going on for most of the season and pretty much going to rule him out of things for most of the season. And he's currently doing a coaching course as well, so I think he might be on the verge of retiring because of that injury, but we'll see how that turns out at the end of the season. So there is no TV coverage, so we might run you guys through my team now before we get into the game. So this is the team. It's a little bit different to what my rotation team normally is anyway, let alone what my first team would look like. So because Herve is out as our right back option, we've put Francisco Sevillano, wanted by Everton, which is interesting. He's going to play right back. We've got Martinez, Quata and Romain Ledger, usually a backup left back. He's going to slot in to centre back where Sevillano would usually go. Alvaro Fernandez at wing back on that left hand side. Then in the midfield, Koulibaly, Stamanik and Cerrillo. That is our regular Europa League midfield. Loftus-Cheek is unregistered, otherwise he would probably be in there instead of Cerrillo, but these guys are quite good with their tactical familiarities and no big issues there. And then up front we've got Hudson-Odoi, Fernandez and Rodrigo Macedo returning to the first team for the first time in a long time. He is just coming back from an injury himself, but with Quintero out, he gets his shot and will give Flavio Henrique a little bit of a rest heading into the 2 League R games that could be quite important coming up off the back of this. So that is our team. We will come back to you guys when the match starts and have a quick look at that Rangers team and get into the action and find out who's going to qualify top out of Group E. Okay, so here are the team sheets. That Rangers lineup, some pretty familiar names from the first time we played them, and they've also added Christian Eriksen into the mix, which is interesting. It's a pretty good team, so it will be interesting to see how this rotation gets on against them. But even if we lose, as long as we don't get hammered, I think we should be still going through at the top of the group. We'll tell the boys to go out there and impress me. That worked wonders, didn't it? We'll just give them the we have faith in them. Oh, that didn't click for the midfielders. We'll do that again. Most of the boys motivated. And here we are, the good old managerial handshake. We seem to get in these European games and the players are about to come out, and they do come out onto the stud Louis 2. We are in the home kit playing right to left. Rangers in the blue with the white, as you would expect from them. They are playing left to right and they take the ball off us from a long ball early. And it's 0-0 after 2 minutes. Corner to Monaco in the second minute. It is put in Martinez Quata trying to get his head to it. It's cut back out to Hudson-Odoi. Fernandez on the volley, and we've got a goal very early on. Gabriel Fernandez. It was a little bit of a cross there from Hudson-Odoi. The angle made it a little bit hard to tell just how far out that was from, but it was a good flick on from Gabriel Fernandez, and we get the goal. There's the corner headed clear. Hudson-Odoi just makes his way into the box quite easily. It's a cross that has found Gabriel Fernandez. He sweeps that home into the right hand side of the goal, and we are 1-0 up early in the last Europa League Group Game. 10 minutes gone and Monaco have just won the ball off Rangers. Ledger running down that left hand side, as you would expect, being a left back now. Macedo is in the box here, just holding the ball up. Back to Gabriel Fernandez. This time he can't get it past McCaskill, the player we were looking at in the summer transfer window. He saves that. It is 1-0 after 15 minutes. Throw into Rangers at the 24-minute mark. A pretty quiet game since that Fernandez goal, as Eriksen shuffles that ball forward up to Lewis Potter, and he fights Carlos Antonio, at least tries to. A decent striker he is. We've scouted him. He looks like he's got a decent amount of finishing on him, although that cross that was trying to find him is straight at the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper finds Fernandez here. Now Hudson-Odoi into, I'm not sure who that was supposed to be into. Now I've taken the ball off Hudson-Odoi. We get it back. Cerrillo with a shot that's blocked. Now Koulibaly back out to Cerrillo. Koulibaly again. We just look to get something going. Alvaro Fernandez, can he put this across? He can, but straight into the hands of McCaskill. Still 1-0 after 27 minutes. Throw into Monaco at the half-hour mark. Fernandez receives it from Fernandez, I suspect. And now Gabriel puts one in, trying to get Macedo's head onto it. It's cleared out, and Rodrigo Gomez for Rangers will try and start something on a counter here, although that's going to be cut out. Just nearly give the ball back to Carlos Antonio, but luckily we are able just to snuff that out, and we play back out from the back. Marco Stamanik will find Macedo, and he chips the keeper. Lovely finish from Rodrigo Macedo. That is his first goal for the first team this season. His first Europa League goal as well, and it is a lovely goal. We are 2-0 up at the half-hour mark. It's a nice ball here from Marco Stamanik. He can just see the run from Macedo, and just before it can reach McCaskill, he gets his foot to it, chips it over the diving Rangers keeper, and we are 2-0 up. Corner to Rangers in the 32nd minute. They try and hit back straight after that second goal. Eriksen puts it in, but cannot find a head of a teammate, and it is headed out to Macedo, who isn't the quickest player, but he's Got into a decent position here. He's one-on-one with a defender. Can he slide this back? He plays it back for Hudson-Odoi. His shot blocked though. It is cleared away from Rangers. And that is the highlight for now, because now we have a throw-in that Ledger fires to Fernandez. Koulibaly switches that over to Sevillano, back into Hudson-Odoi. He will have a shot, hits the side netting, still 2-0 at the 33-minute mark. Goal kick to Rangers as we have 4 minutes out from half time. They try and find Antonio up front, but we do head that back to Martinez Quarta and now play forward, although they cut out the ball that was looking to find Mikado, and now Eriksson finds Lewis Potter, although a good tackle there and we get possession back. Koulibaly on the ball now, making his way forward from the CDM role, getting into our half, and now Gabriel Fernandez down the left. He has made his way up the pitch nicely. Can we make it free before half time? Back to Alvaro Fernandez. Puts a ball in. It is headed clear by Tidza, and a Rangers player gets on the end of that. Back forward to Eriksson. Cerrillo takes the ball off him now. Fernandez, can he play someone through? He gives it to Mikado. His shot blocked. Rodrigo Gomez clears that out, and it looks like that is going to be half time, and indeed it is. A good half from our boys, only conceding one shot, while we had 10-5 on target and 2 of them going in the back of the net. A very good start with an early Gabriel Fernandez goal, and then Rodrigo Mikado was able to chip one over the keeper at the half-hour mark, and we are looking very good, and it's fair to say we should be qualifying top of the group now. I can't see Rangers getting 9 goals on us in the second half. We'll tell the boys. I'm going to tell them I'm very happy with how things are going. Actually, a bit dangerous, but we'll see if that works. And we start the second half, the last half of the group stage of the Europa League, and hopefully the last Europa League group stage game we'll be playing for a while here at Monaco, because the way things are going in Liga A, I would be devastated if we can't make Champions League next year. But we hold a 2-0 lead here. The teams have switched sides, so we are playing left to right, and it is Rangers with the first highlight of the second half. Sheaf on the ball back to Carter Vickers, and they will want to strike fairly soon if they're going to get anything out of this game. Ledger plays it back to Gordon, and we regain possession to Monaco. Martinez Quarta now on the ball. Back to Sevillano, usually a centre-back, but he's doing a pretty good job for us at right back tonight, which is nice. Him and Koulibaly knocking the ball out with each other quite nicely as we just hold things up for the moment. Now Cerrillo back to Koulibaly, who is driving quite a bit of stuff, it's fair to say. Now Cerrillo makes a nice run into the opposition half. Fernandez on that left wing puts the ball in. Mikado tries to get a shot off. It's blocked. It will go out for a throw and nothing coming from it. 2-0 early in the second half. Cerrillo on the ball. He finds Hudson-Odoi at the 58-minute mark here. Monaco on the edge of the box. Sevillano across to Stamenik. He will find Martinez. Here's Fernandez, I should say. He is a shot straight at McCaskill, and it will remain 2-0 at the hour mark. No one tired yet, so we'll just leave that issue yellow card-wise. I'm not too worried about it in terms of the Europa League with a rotation team, but that's a very sloppy goal that we've just conceded. One of our defenders there missing a header, and it's Carlos Antonio, I think, put that away. Yeah, Rodrigo Gomez headed that forward. We'll check who that was who missed that header, because that was a bit lazy. It's Ledger, who usually is a left back, so we might let him away with that. But Carlos Antonio with a gift of a goal, and they're back in this Rangers 2-1 with 25 to go. In the 84th minute, Rangers clear the ball from what would have been a corner, but they give possession back to us, and we are deep in their half. So Martinez Quarta looks to find Hudson-Odoi, who keeps this in, finds Mikado, the shot blocked. It's messy, but McCaskill comes out and clears it. I think that was going to be in the back of the net without a block, and it remains 2-1 approaching full time, although Rangers now have a free kick. Fernandez heads it clear. We've got some players on red hearts who we might deal with shortly. Oh, that's a wonderful ball for Azani, but I think the goal from the Australian is going to be ruled out for offside. The graphic hasn't come up, which usually means that's the case, and indeed, we'll wait for the video assistant referee to call it, and it is ruled out for offside. We'll see if they show how offside it was. No, they won't. Okay, what we'll do is we will make the changes for the red-hearted players just to freshen things up. Dembele for Hudson-Odoi and Agume for Stamenik, a player who Barcelona are after, so that is something that we definitely need to keep an eye on. In the upcoming transfer window, Barcelona might be too strong of a club to try and counter in terms of a transfer bid. We're able to keep Southampton off a few of our players in the first transfer window, but don't know about Barcelona, and then the likes of Inter Milan, Real Madrid are sniffing around Flavio Henrique as well, as we have a corner that's cleared. So yeah, we've got some interesting decisions to make, and those transfers would be in excess of $100 million. So that's interesting. And we concede an equaliser in the 90th minute. And that is frustrating. We've blown a 2-0 lead, albeit with a rotated team. So, but we did bring some first-team players on just then, so that is disappointing. It's a nice ball for Carlos Antonio, who just fires it past Gordon, and it is 2-2. Not a terrible result by any means. We're still going to qualify top of the group, but frustrating to let that slip. We are now in 1 minute past at a time. Koulibaly on the edge of the box will put a ball in, it is cleared away, and that will be it 2-2 between Monaco and Rangers in the final Europa League Group E game. And you look at their shots on target compared to ours and their overall shots as well, and that is very, very frustrating to be only drawing that game. We looked very good in the first half, but Carlos Antonio with a second half double, and Rangers have came back and pinched a draw, I think it's fair to say, considering those stats and position as well. They've fully FM'd us there. Look at the Rangers ratings. Gomez, Mhund and Antonio, of course, with some nice reigns there. The goalkeepers having good days. Most of our players played pretty well, just Gordon with a bit of a stinker according to the ratings, but that is frustrating. We'll tell them it wasn't good enough. Sorry you're demotivated, Marco, but I'm right. And we go into the last couple of games of the first half of the season off the back of a draw against Rangers in the Europa League. And we do qualify top of the group and go straight into the second knockout round like we did last season. So it will be interesting to see who we get there. Red Star getting revenge on Ural, and thanks to goal difference they will finish third. Not that I think that means much in the Europa League compared to the Champions League, unless that third place team goes down to the Conference League, but I'm not entirely sure how that Conference League works, to be honest, because it's not a competition I've been in and I don't really care about it. So that is good to see. Mikado, of course, ending a goal drought. That's always nice as well. We qualify for the second knockout round. We get 338,000, a little bit less than we would have got for a win, so that's frustrating as well. And you can see that the Argentinian boss is looking at a couple of international players. That is okay. Lately it's been the Barcelona boss having a good look at Agume. So we will have a look at the Europa League and just look at all groups and see which teams have gone through. In fact, we can't do that yet. What I think we'll do is come back shortly, because that is going to be sorted out in the very near future. We'll run through which teams have qualified. Okay, and not too long after that, the final qualification has been done. So out of Group A, Eintracht Frankfurt and Tottenham tied on points, tied on goal difference, but Eintracht Frankfurt will go through to the second knockout round. PSV Eindhoven and Charleroi. Not a team I expected to go through from Group B, but again, same points, but PSV Eindhoven getting the top spot on goal difference, I would imagine. Sporting of Portugal and Atalanta out of Group C, with Sporting going into the second knockout round. Lille getting knocked out early, which is interesting. A fellow French team. Real Madrid, as you would expect, have topped Group D, and Bayer Leverkusen finished second. No surprises there. Monaco and Rangers out of Group E, as you have seen. Everton and St. Trudians going out of Group F, with Everton into the second knockout round. Napoli also into the second knockout round, topping Group G over Shakhtar, and Group H, Porto topping that, and Stade Rennais, another fellow French side, will be going into the first knockout round after qualifying second. So those are the teams going into the knockout rounds of the Europa League. We might have a quick look at the Champions League just to see if we can sort anything out there while we're here. And indeed we can. So the teams that are going through to the Europa League from the Champions League are Ajax, Milan, which is interesting. They're after one of our players. Valencia, Benfica, Real Sociedad, AZ, Inter Milan. So both the Milans are going to be in that stage of the competition, and Celtic of Scotland. So that's interesting. You'd imagine in this game that Celtic are a bit better than Rangers. We'll just check, and no, they're not. Okay, that's quite nice then. So if we do meet Celtic at some stage, maybe we don't have to worry about that one too much, but we'll see how we get on. So those are the teams going into the knockout rounds of the Europa League, but we will not have to worry about that competition for a wee while yet now, as we will be joining, I think it was about February last year. I'll have to check that, but yeah, it's going to be sometime around there anyway, so we've got a bit of break from continental football now. So in tomorrow's episode, as I said earlier, we're going to come back for that last game of the first half of the Ligue 1 season. It will be second versus third, and it is Monaco versus Stade Brest at the Stade Louis II. And if we can win that, then we will be in a very good position to be in Champions League football next season already, as we've already got a bit of a gap on Stade Brest, and if we can beat them, if we look at this Ligue 1 table, we're 9 points ahead of them. We beat them, that will make it hopefully 12 as long as we beat Lille, and then an even bigger gap back to the 4th place team. So if we can win that, then we should still be in a title hunt, as well as looking very good for Champions League football next season. But if you did enjoy today's episode where we took on Rangers and qualified top of our Europa League group, then please do leave a thumbs up down below. Let us know who you'd like to see us take on in that second knockout round of the Europa League. Some tasty potential matchups in there. And if you have not done so already and are enjoying the series, then please do subscribe to the channel and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. And until tomorrow's episode against Brest, where we round out the first half of the Ligue 1 season, then I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. I will see you soon. Cheers.